Hey, what's up, guys? Ken here from the Retro Toyscapades channel in Malaysia. Big news coming in today for the Motu Origins line. Now, we told you guys on the channel that it was coming here to Malaysia ahead of the rest of the world in just a couple of days' time. But now we find out that it's already here even sooner than we could have imagined. The launch for these set of figures just took place a couple of hours ago, sometime in the evening today. And hey, special thanks to one of our top fans and followers on the channel, Adelphi, who sent these snaps in to us from one of the local Toys R Us stores in the town of Johor Bahru, which is in the southern part of Malaysia. Now, our contact was in a rush to grab limited stocks of Castle Grayskull, which in fact was also launching here in Malaysia for the first time today. So he didn't manage to take too many snaps of the new wave of figures. However, he did manage to send a couple of these photos through. And another contributor, Mr. Rizal from one of the local Masters of the Universe Facebook groups, has also shared pictures of the find online. So let's check them out. Now, I know that in some circles, this wave is supposed to be known as Wave 6, and Wave 5 is supposed to be the one with Stinkor, Webstor, Teela done up as the Green Goddess, and the Lords of Power Beastman. But you know what? We haven't seen anything on those figures at all, okay? But we do have these figures instead right here, okay? So we're just going to go ahead with these guys as Wave 5. Now, I know it can all get probably a bit confusing for sure, but hey, I've seen comments here from some people saying that they haven't even seen Wave 3 yet, okay? So yeah, what's up with that? Now, as you can see, this Toys R Us store here has devoted a generous amount of shelf space to the new figures, okay? So generous. In fact, this is the first time I've seen so many new figures in a wave being put out for sale simultaneously, alright? There's at least 12 of each figure here on display. But hey, you know what? This is the launch day, okay? And the calm before the storm, alright? Now, once the word gets out, and it already has, most of these will likely be ravaged off the pegs, okay? Just devoured by the collecting community. Yeah, but at the same time, this is also probably a good test scenario to see how much of the brand is still of interest to buyers. Okay, since this wave has only 2 new figures and 2 reissues, and most of the characters are technically cult favorites, not quite as well known to the mainstream collecting community. So yeah, not every Motu fan is in fact a diehard completist, sadly, and many may want to hold out for specific key figures, okay, before diving back into a new wave. Now, so with so many stocks available here in just one store, I guess it will be interesting to see how strong the response towards these still is. Alright, especially when we still don't even have the new Battle Armor and He-Man and Skeletor figures here. You know, okay, we don't even have those figures to help to push the interest. Okay, come on, where the hell are those figures? Okay, I mean, it's been months now, alright? Yeah, anyway, let's get down to checking out the figures. Alright, firstly, the prices on these, as you can see from the Toys R Us price sticker on the top left of the card, these are still priced at 59.90 ringgit Malaysia, or roughly about $14 US. Now, this is the same price the figures have been since the launch of Wave 1 last year. And even with the line being such a massive hit with collectors, there hasn't been a price increase yet, and I think that's fantastic, okay? There's just no other universe where you can just walk into a store and get a figure like Faker here for a steal deal like that, right? And I think that's just amazing. And talking about Faker, man. Oh, and by the way, the fingers that are holding up the figure here belong to our on-the-ground contact, Adelphi. Now, I'm going to tell him that his hand is now famous. So, okay, Faker, man, you know what? It's so good to finally have a clear picture of the new figure, all right? Instead of the grainy website footage that we had previously. Seeing him up close like this, I can definitely say that the translation for Faker from the vintage original to the current Origins version, the translation is just fantastic, okay? Faker is likely the most sought after figure in this wave, certainly for me, because I never had the vintage original. Now, I am going to wait until the figure is actually in my hands, but from this angle right here, he does look like maybe his hair is almost too red. Okay, like the hair dye was left in too long or something. I don't know, okay, maybe that's normal, but I do want to know what you guys are thinking, of course, seeing these new figures. So, hey, do leave me a comment, alright? Now, of course, It's great that we're getting the vintage styled He-Man head with Faker. And this head was first reintroduced in Origins with the Battle Armor He-Man set, which, like I said, we still don't have here in Malaysia. So it's interesting that the freaking blue head is getting here first. But hey, I wouldn't have it any other way. And, Faker's a great looking figure. I can't wait to have him in my hands, and give you guys the full review. Next up, let's take a closer look at Fisto. Now, I have mentioned in my other video that I've never really been a huge fan of Fisto. Call it a matter of personal preference, okay? I just thought that he was a fairly basic barbarian type warrior, and we already had He-Man for that, okay? But I do know that he has a lot of fans, for sure. And somewhat importantly, he's also one of the few purely human warriors in Masters of the Universe. Now, there's no monster or robot hybrid parts attached to him at all. He's entirely human. If you have Fisto's vintage original figure, then you'll know what to expect. The sculpt here is very well done. Fisto looks imposing, and his beard looks imposing too. Hell, the beard alone is probably fierce enough to send the enemies screaming into hiding. Now, I can't really get a good look here, but it seems that his giant fist hand does look quite not so giant. I'm not sure, okay? It's probably the same size as the vintage one. When I get this guy in hand, I'll definitely do a comparison. Then we get to Evil-Lyn, and man, you know what? Even seeing the shot of the actual toy on shelves, I still don't feel anything for it. It's just something about Evil-Lyn as an action figure that just doesn't do it for me. Alright, especially if they're basing it off the vintage 80s action figure, because I found that version really dull too. And with this one, it's just a redeco of the earlier version from Wave 1, just without her looking like Marge Simpson. And since I already have that earlier version, I'm not feeling too hot about this one, okay? But if I never got that earlier one, I'd definitely pick this one up instead, because it's for damn sure the better of the two. Okay guys, we're winding down the list, and now we've gotten down to Merman, and holy hot damn it, the figure just looks so much better than even the promotional pictures could have suggested. Now, why didn't we just get this version first, okay? If you saw my review on the Merman Origins figure, you'll know that I blasted the figure for just being a copy of the original, but just with less personality and less detail. And there was just too much yellow all over the figure, okay? For some reason, he just looked like he merged with a sunflower field. But this one, dude, just so much better, okay? So much better. They even went with a different shade of yellow between his chest armor and that of his boots and wrists. Amazing. You know what? I'm not sure what exactly is that's growing out of his boots there. Could it be seaweed? I don't know, man, but whatever it is, it looks cool. Anyway, guys, my ranking for this wave is Faker at number 1, followed by Merman. Okay, what's yours? Okay, let me know in the comments. Now, that's my look at the photos of the official launch of the Motu Origins Wave 5, which took place in Toys R Us stores across Malaysia earlier today. Now, I will be getting the figures in hand soon, so expect a full review coming up. As always, I do thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, I do hope that you'll consider doing so, and I hope that you will like the video if you enjoyed it, and hit me up as well in the comments with your thoughts on this wave or anything that's Motu related. Thanks again, guys. I'll catch all of you again real soon.